It's been around 3 years since the release of Tell Me I'm Pretty, which was really just another Black Keys album in disguise. Dan Auerbach was just out here playing the band like puppets for his own limp garage rock revivalist quest. Tedious songwriting and cold grayscale production with the upsetting sleepiness of Cold Me So. I'd be more inclined to hear Matt Schultz's Coldplay cover than mess around one more time. I hate to reminisce when beginning a review. It gives you the impression already that their new album won't be so good and that I'm relying too heavily on comparisons, not judging the record on its own terms. Fair enough. That said though, it's hard not to think very pensively about how sapped of fun this band is now. Even when they were dropping cheesy garage group jams for the Borderlands soundtrack, they sounded as if they were, bare minimum, having fun, strumming every riff and Schultz parading his way through silly storytelling with the mocking accent of a South Park character. In 2013, Melophobia was such a flash in the pan of muscular, vault-shocking creativity that I'm honestly surprised the band have done very little to cap on that since. It wasn't even a game-changing album, it was just fun. It was wild, it was one of the most enjoyable experiences of that year, smattered with stomach-churning and emotively intense surprises every step of the way, and hooks that I'm still finding myself singing while I, top up my hop card or something. Social Cues at least has a pulse this time. It's even produced very nicely with some clean and orderly psychedelia influence, laid out neatly like a slightly tinted hotel bedsheet. That said, it's hard not to think that this band is just writing music on autopilot at this point, and the pulse sort of disappears by track 6 anyways. Elephant is too big to cage now, huh? Why should I be living when living feels like dying? Autopilot indeed. Night Running featuring Beck sounds like one of the reggae fusion jams from Blurry Face by 21 Pilots, or heaven forbid a Sticky Fingers record. One more second of that and my nose would have started bleeding. The issue is that nothing sounds passionate, it coasts along with no sense of urgency, but is prettied up to aesthetically seem pleasing. But I'm not being fooled this time. The one fierce track in comparison to everything else was House of Glass, with roaring distorted guitar and alluring spoken word, and even that just sounds like it was generated from a formula, going off the way that it's pieced together like calculated stage directions. And a 1, 2, 3, 4... Tokyo Smoke has an air of spooky mystery, and Skin and Bones brings in chimes with every guitar note on the chorus, and each one is emphasized, and it's quite hair-raising, I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's probably more evocative and stirring than any of the other tracks that are merely just lush but flat-spirited ballads. Social Cues is definitely intended to be a more sensitive and honestly telling album from Matt Schultz and the Ambush Dumbo gang, given the expanded instrumentation and generally slower songs, plus particularly vague reflections upon fame and privacy, but it glosses over just about everything that could make an album even just merely solid. A band can perform very tightly, but how cleanly cut and portioned can you get before everything is just a little bit too sanitary? Oh, it started to smell a bit like sick bay now. 4 out of 10.